Okay, listen up. What I'm about to show you is classified. This is a strategic analysis of a threat that could literally redefine our reality, so pay close attention.
I want you to really think about that question for a second. Let it sit with you as we go through this briefing, because it's not some hypothetical puzzle. It is the core philosophy of the single greatest threat the multiverse has ever, and I mean ever, faced.
So, welcome to the Doomsday Protocol. This is your official briefing for what we're calling the 2026 Convergence event. Our mission today is simple. Understand the man, understand the crisis, and understand the terrifying endgame he has planned for all of us.
All right, let's get right into it. Section 1, the mission briefing. Here's the situation on the ground.
Look, the intel we have is, well, it's not good. The multiverse is literally dying. It's shrinking, contracting, and entire realities are being wiped off the map by these things we're calling incursions. And right in the middle of all this chaos, there's one guy, one powerful figure, who's stepping up and claiming he's the only one with a solution. Your mission is to understand this threat, to get inside his head and figure out what he plans to build from the ashes of everything.
And that one man, well, that brings us to our primary subject, Section 2. Let's break down the threat profile of Victor Von Doom.
So who is this guy? His name is Victor Von Doom. He's the absolute monarch of a small nation called Latveria. Intellect? He's right up there with Reed Richards, a true genius. But here's the thing, he doesn't just rely on science. He's a master of sorcery. We're talking dark arts, summoning demonic forces, the whole 9 yards. And he wraps all of that up inside a nuclear-powered suit of armor. You see, it's that terrifying blend of super science and black magic that makes him so uniquely dangerous.
You know, you really can't get a handle on Doom without understanding his rivalry with Reed Richards. And this isn't just your standard good guy versus bad guy stuff. No, this is a deep, fundamental clash of ideologies, and it is intensely personal. I mean, just look at this breakdown. It's a clash of fundamental beliefs. Richards represents things like democracy, collaboration, hope. Doom, he's the exact opposite. Autocracy, absolute control, and this unshakable belief that only his will can save humanity from itself. But that psychological note at the bottom, that's the key to everything. His burning hatred for Richards started because of an accident that left him scarred. An accident where Richards warned him he was making a mistake. Doom's arrogance wouldn't let him listen, and Reed was proven right. He's never forgiven him for it. And if you want to know his philosophy, just listen to this. In his own words. Wow. Let that sink in for a minute. He doesn't just want to rule our world or our universe. He truly, genuinely believes the only possible future where humanity survives is one where he is the absolute dictator of every single reality.
And if you think that's just him talking big, check this out. This is a crucial piece of intel. During a major conflict with Wakanda, Doom actually submitted himself to be judged by their deity, the Panther God, Bast. And her verdict? It's chilling. She looked right into his soul, saw all the possible futures, and she didn't find him evil. No, she found his conviction pure. He 100% believes his way is the only path to salvation. In his mind, he's not a tyrant. He's a savior. And a literal god looked at him and agreed.
So what's feeding this conviction? Well, it's the crisis itself. Which brings us to Section 3, the incursion crisis.
So, what exactly is an incursion? Well, in the simplest terms, it's when the walls between two different realities just break down. Two separate universes start to occupy the same space at the same time, and that leads to a catastrophic collision. But the mechanics of it, man, they're absolutely horrifying. Once an incursion kicks off, a clock starts ticking. You have 8 hours. And in that window, if one of the two Earths at the center of the event isn't completely destroyed, both entire universes are annihilated. Just gone, wiped from existence. So you've got this impossible choice. Either you commit genocide on a planetary scale, or you and everyone you've ever known just blink out of existence. This isn't a war for land or resources, it's a war for the right to exist.
And that impossible choice? That's exactly where Doom's entire philosophy finds its justification. This is how he plans to win. This is his endgame. Section 4, Battleworld. So while everyone else is panicking, watching the multiverse get eaten alive by these incursions, Doom has a plan. He's not trying to stop them, he's planning to survive them. The plan is to seize a level of power we can't even comprehend, and at the very last second, when everything is collapsing, he's going to grab the last remaining pieces of dying realities and literally stitch them together into a single Frankenstein-like planet.
a planet he calls Battleworld.
And on this new world, make no mistake, the hierarchy is absolute. The planet is made up of these zones, basically salvaged chunks of places like New York or Wakanda. At the very top, you have a single ruler, God Emperor Doom. He's not just a king, he's an omnipotent deity who shapes reality with his thoughts. And his personal police force? An army of Thors from different dead universes, all of them loyal only to him. He calls them the Thor Corps.
Okay, now this next part is speculative. It's not confirmed, but the chatter is too strong to ignore. Intel suggests Doom has a primary target, Franklin Richards. That's the son of Reed and Sue Storm. Why him? Well, the kid can literally warp reality on a scale that might even surpass the Sorcerer Supreme. The theory is, Doom needs a battery, an anchor, to hold this patchwork universe of his together, and he plans for that anchor to be a child.
To really wrap our heads around this threat, we need to look back at how we got here. So, Section 5, this is your tactical prep. This is the intel you need to get up to speed and fast.
You know, the crazy thing is, the groundwork for all of this has already been laid out for us. Think about it. The Loki series gave us the whole idea of the sacred timeline and the multiverse breaking apart. Then, No Way Home showed us that universes can literally bleed into each other, pulling people across realities. And Doctor Strange 2, that gave us our first terrifying direct look at incursions and their devastating consequences. These aren't just separate stories, they're the breadcrumbs leading us right here. And right now, all the key players are starting to move onto the board. We're anticipating the arrival of the Fantastic Four, who will be the primary opposition. We're seeing geopolitical tensions rising over resources like vibranium. A new command structure for the Avengers is taking shape, and even street-level espionage teams are getting pulled into this cosmic-level threat. Every single piece on the board is starting to matter.
All right, here it is, your complete watch order. Think of this as the full intelligence file you need to study. Phase 1 gives you the history on all the key players. Phase 2, what we're calling the unraveling, is mission critical. It shows you the multiverse starting to break down. And Phase 3, the setup, shows you everything happening right before the main event. You need to know all of it. Your life could literally depend on it.
So what's the bottom line here? Here's our final assessment. This isn't just another bad guy trying to take over the world. The Avengers, they're always fighting to save their world. But Doom, he's fighting to save all of existence. His method is absolute brutal tyranny, sure, but his stated goal is salvation for everyone. The heroes are facing an enemy who truly believes, in his heart of hearts, that he is the hero of the story. And that brings us all the way back to that question I asked you at the very beginning. When the end is here, when all of reality is on the line, and the only other choice is total oblivion, is this man the villain we have to stop at all costs? Or is he the terrifying, tyrannical hero that reality deserves? That's for you to decide. Briefing concluded.